NamRA Kachenu, NamRA nchi yetu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA nchi yetu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA nchi yetu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA nchi yetu.
NamRA, serving with passion.
Hello and welcome to this edition of NamRA Kachenu, where the focus is on tax, customs and excise matters. I am Puye Ipawa Maitako, keeping you company for the next half an hour or so. In recent developments, NamRA takes its services to Oshinene. Value-added tax, VAT, administration and compliance takes center stage. NamRA engaged taxpayers and traders at the Ondangwa Trade Fair. All that and more coming to you in a while. From the 25th of April to the 30th, 2023, NamRA participated in the Oshinene Expo on a mission to educate taxpayers and traders on tax and trade matters, while extending its services in that area.
As a constituency councillor, regional councillor of Chinene constituency, I'm very happy with the services of NamRA that they have offered here during the Ochinene 5th edition Expo. And I've spoken to many people that have visited this stall, and they are giving me a positive feedback that they are happy with what they are getting here, but what they are looking for, at least they want NamRA to have a satellite office where it will only be run by maybe 1 or 2 persons, so that, because there's many people that are working here, and as well as we have many farmers that want to update their system as well in regard to tax and what have you, so they all want to have NamRA in Ochinene.
The Namibia Revenue Agency NamRA, in alliance with the African Tax Administration Forum, held a workshop on VAT administration and compliance in extractive industries. The 2 days workshop, which took place in Swakopmund, Erongo region, was attended by various participants from different African countries, including some of the NamRA staff. Now ATAF is one of the continental bodies that provides a platform for cooperation for tax authorities. Let's look at the highlights of the event.
Africa Tax Administration Forum bring together African tax administration together. You will become a member. We have been a member even before the establishment of NamRA. The Inland Revenue Department have been a member of Africa Tax Administration Forum. Now, Africa Tax Administration Forum bring together the best expert in the taxation space to deliver capacity building training to African tax administrations. So our relationship has been that we work very closely with ATAF. They give us training in the areas of transfer pricing. They have given us training in the area of leadership and management development. They have given us a training in the area of audit. We will still continue working very closely with ATAF.
So this workshop is very critical, especially for auditing, because it will be unpacking the critical areas that an auditor needs to look for. What are the risks that you will be looking at to determine that a company or a service needs to be audited? So for auditors, for tax administrators, even for policymakers, there are different tenets that will be discussed at this workshop that will help people make informed decisions and carry out audits that will be productive.
NamRA engaged taxpayers and traders at the Ondangwa Annual Trade Fair, which took place from the 2nd to the 6th of May 2023.
Just here to submit my return and see if there's any outstanding on my account, and I would like to encourage everybody to visit their stand for more information and to see if there's anything that they can help with.
I actually came to visit NamRA stand just to acquaint myself with the laws and regulations that are governing, importation of goods and the exportation of goods, so that we don't find ourselves on the other side of the law.
After a short break, we will be joined by our guest, Mr. Vivian De Koe, who recently took over as a manager for Central Region Domestic Taxes at the Namibia Revenue Agency.
We administer tax and custom laws so efficiently and consistently. We are ethical, effective in changing lives. We are there for you. This is your revenue. NamRA, serving with passion to positively impact the livelihood of every Namibian.
Good afternoon, Mr. De Koe, and thank you for joining us here on NamRA Kachenu.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Mr. De Koe, you recently took over the Central Regional Office. What did you find in place?
When I came in April, started April the 10th as the manager in the Central Regional Operations. I find a lot of queues here at the office, and I find also that the staff is scattered over, not found in one place, like I'm used to in the region. In the Western region, we have one office, all the staff is sitting there. There is only one part where the auditors is sitting in another building. But here it's bigger. It's a lot of employees, and I think I will have my work cut out for me.
Mr. De Koe, often there are concerns about delayed assessments and refunds. At the Central Regional Office, what strategies do you have in place to mitigate the backlog?
Yes, delay in assessments and refunds. All over, all the regions has problems. There is problems in the offices with that. It has to do with the manual submission of the returns, and when it comes to delayed assessments, what we are currently, or what I am currently seeing, what we can bring in at a central office is to align the process, the manual process, with the ITA's workflow. Now, for one to submit a return, we have to change that manual into electronic. Now, we cater for that. When a taxpayer submits his return manually, we will receive that return, capture it on the system, directly at submission stage, and then it goes to a back office where the attachments to that return will be scanned. Now, that scanning process is very important, and what I see in central office, I had time to visit the customer care and the cash office part of the central office. And what I see is they are not basically scanning. These things are still received in the old, like the old regime, the IRD part, when we were in IRD, with the manual system. So we treat this whole process still as a manual process, while we start with a manual process and change that process into a e-filing process in the back office. Now that will greatly help with the getting these returns electronically, and it will have a positive effect when it comes to audits. Now for one to audit a taxpayer, we don't audit only businesses, we audit individuals also, especially when there is a credit on that tax return. So the information will be readily available on the system for the auditor, and not have to go back and look for a file or the batches for him to get that attached documents to that specific return. So it will make it easier, it will make it faster, and I believe taxpayers will get their refunds faster at the end of the day. Returns will the processing of the returns will also get faster, and taxpayer can get the answer in the shortest possible time.
Okay.
I believe that will help us and the taxpayers at the end, yes.
Okay. You have identified one of the processes to be that you moved from manual to automated. What are some of the other services that you are planning on working on improving?
Yes, you see, ITA system make provision for different types of electronic processes. We have the modification process, we have the objection processes, which ITAs can cater for. Now, normally taxpayer will bring in a form, complete the form, attach the documentation that needs to be attached, and then submit it at the customer care office, and then that document will go through to all the way to the section that needs to deal with it. But what I said earlier, with the scanning process, all these documents will be scanned and then electronically to the section that deals with those queries or changes or modifications. So it actually helped because in the past the taxpayers was always complaining about the documents that get lost in the revenue office.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's getting to be something of the past now, but only if we use the system as it is intended to be used. And that will also help with the improvement of service delivery.
You left the Western Regional Office as one of the best performing offices. What are some of the things that you left in place to ensure great performance, continued great performance?
Yes, I think I left, from my side now, my personal view, I think I left a good motivated staff behind. Structures which is in place, and the flow of work, basically you can say the streamlining of work between sections is in place. So what I can say is the foundation was laid for the new manager, the incoming manager, and I think if she just go with the structures that is in place and keep motivating the staff, then I think she will do good.
Okay, that's great having motivated staff members. Generally, your colleagues actually refer to you as a good coach and mentor. What actually motivates you in this regard?
You see, I see tax as a career and a passion. And I'm now, I believe, 31 years doing tax. Wow. For me is knowledge. Knowledge is power. So if one can give the knowledge to your staff member, then they can perform also. And you see, managers work through people. If your people is well trained and they've got the knowledge and the skill to do the work, then at the end of the day, everyone will just reap the rewards.
Okay, that's great. We'd like to thank you for your time, but before we thank you and say goodbye to you, what are your final remarks to the taxpayers and the staff members?
Yes, for the taxpayers, I believe they must. We are busy. NamRA is still young. We will get there for the improved. We are busy improving our services, and I believe they should just be patient with us. We will get there, and for the staff, they must keep being motivated. It's not always easy, but if we are motivated and we put all our efforts in our work, then I believe we will make NamRA the world-class revenue agency as our vision states.
Thank you for your time, Mr. De Koe, and for your positive leadership. Now, that was Mr. Vivian De Koe, Manager, Central Regional Office, Domestic Taxes. We'll be back after the short break.
We administer tax and custom laws so efficiently and consistently. We are ethical, effective in changing lives. We are there for you. This is your revenue.
NamRA, serving with passion to positively impact the livelihood of every Namibian.
Paul Ndalelwa is the current chairperson for the NamRA Change Management Committee and has over 10 years of experience in customs and excise. He has been a chairperson since January 2022. In the next insert, we will hear more from him.
My name is Paul Ndalelwa, a senior customs and excise official based in Western Region, Walvis Bay Regional Office to be precise. My background in terms of being a customs official, I started in 2012 as a customs officer and I was placed at the enforcement section. But due to the policy or internal arrangement that we have of rotation, I've been rotated to so many different other sections within the region. This includes clearance, checking, airport, as well as other subsections. My current duties as a senior official is that I oversee or supervise the clearance process and procedures and anything else that has to do with the clearance. This would be imports, exports, a transit procedure, as well as amending entries, cancellation, and I'm not restricted to that only. I'm also involved in other sections as need arises. This would be manifest sections, also troubleshooting Asikuda world errors, as well as other sections. My message to the viewers, for those that are not within NamRA, is that they must support us as NamRA. This agency is for every Namibian. Therefore, they must join hands, they must take citizenship within NamRA and to invest in terms of time, in terms of being involved in our policies, procedures, and advise us where they think we can do better. To those that are in NamRA, I know currently things are not going as much as we had expected. We are going through a turbulent phase of rebuilding and building the agency. Therefore, I call upon everyone to put in their best, to do everything that can do. The resources at the moment and things may not be as much as they should be. When we don't have resources, therefore we have to be resourceful in terms of time, in terms of being creative, and in terms of being innovative for the best of our agency.
As always, NamRA strives for diversity and educating our stakeholders. In this edition, we are going to look at our due dates in English and Rukwangali.
Good day. The Namibia Revenue Agency hereby wishes to remind the public that the due date for individual tax returns will be the 30th of June. You are therefore encouraged to register for e-filing on ITIS to file your returns. You can do this at your own convenience, whether it's at your house, office, or internet cafe, or alternatively visit our offices for assistance. We thank you and urge you to file your returns on or before the 30th of June. Goodbye.
NamRA, serving with passion.
Kundira ko Namibian Revenue Agency pa usupi NamRA. Neina kwa kumuretera po mazuwa buliro gomulyo kutidirika. Mtero go iwizomo kutera iwizomo nainye yokuizamo mu Namibia. Mazuwa buliro, mazuwa no murongo mbali goko kwedi kwama kwedi ko iwizomo. Mtero go iwizomo mazuwa no murongo mbali na ntano. Ke hagero mazuwa ko iwizomo suruwoso mtero. Kuigaba barande sinabe nye balichangisa iwizomo yo mtero. Ano kuifuta melima kukwama iwizomo bapungaika no kulikalira no mali pakero muwa wo mtero goimali wa yostata. Iwizomo yo mtero wana farama kwa nkenye gumwe ndino ngesefa. Mazuwa buliro mazuwa no murongo ntatu kwa starara kuiga melima. Mazuwa buliro ge pakero mtero suruso kuhola makwedi gahamano konyima zo kutameka elima lo mtero anomo no murongo ntatu na zimwe suwogedi. Suruosa ubali mourewe lima lomvura zo mtero 29 o 28 muronga mfuru. Vanafarama wokukarera kugaba rumwe tupu ke hagero lumvo gomtero 28 ndi 29 muronga nkuru. Mtero go iwizomo yoba rugani bakurupe na bamwe ngoso mazuwa huliro mono murongo ntatu wapemba gona ano kuiga batupu rumwe melima. Mtero go iwizomo yoba maupakero ndi tulipakero gona mazuwa huliro makwediga heali konyima ze hagero lerima reko lyoimaliwa. Malipakerero no malipakero gona kuna kubandindira bafute ntero molyo bagwana mokugaba matato chango melima. Mazuwa huliro gefiro sinkamtero goiwizomo suruoso mho makwediga hamano konyima zetameko elima ereko suruosa ubaliano mourewe lima lyomtero. Mtero goiwizamo yobagabi yurugana kubandindira yomulyo pa unongo konentu ko system.
Here is the trivia of duties.
Did you know, in terms of practice note 2 of 2006, a taxpayer engaged in cross-border transactions with related parties is required to be in possession of transfer pricing documentation. Such documentation should include policies and procedures followed to determine the prices used in the cross-border transactions with related parties.
NamRA, Saving with Passion.
Have you ever wondered how you can file your individual income tax return for salaried person at your own convenience? In the next insert, we will learn more about that.
Good day, my name is Nesla Watanawa and I'm going to take you through on how to file your individual tax return on ITAS. Step 1. Log into the portal. Step 2. Click Return. Step 3. Click on My Return. Step 4. Search your return. Step 5. Select the return you want to submit. Step 6. Click on File the Return button. Step 7. Confirm on normal form for individual. Step 8. Scroll down to Schedule 3 for employment. Step 9. Open Schedule 3, click on Salary, Wage Amount, and click outside the box for the figure to appear. Step 10. Compare your figures. Ensure that the gross total amount corresponds to the Payee 5 or the Pay-As-You-Earn and pension. Step 11. Go to Schedule 17 to go check if the payee deducted is corresponding. Step 12. Go to Schedule 24. Indicate if you are the owner of the house you are residing in. If yes, click on Yes. If no, provide the owner's name and tax number. Also, indicate if you are in the possession of any company vehicle. Step 13. Scan your Payee 5, retirement annuity, or study policy and upload. If you do not have a retirement annuity or study policy, scan your Payee 5 and upload. Declare once you are done. Enter the verification code shown above and submit your return. Congratulations! You have successfully uploaded your income tax return. Thank you for watching.
NamRA. Saving with passion.
Remaining with taxpayer and trader education, the next insert looks at how one can file the returns for farmers and businesses.
Good day, my name is Nesla Watanawa and I'm going to take you through on the procedures on how individual farmers can file their income tax returns on the ITAS portal. Step 1. Log into your ITAS portal by entering your username and password. Step 2. Go to Returns. Step 3. Click on My Returns. Step 4. Click on Search Your Return. Step 5. Click on the provisional return you wish to submit. Step 6. Click on the File Your Return button. Step 7. Complete the form by entering 0 on estimated taxable income. Step 8. Scroll down to declare by clicking in the box. Step 9. Complete Schedule 15 by capturing farming income and expenditure incurred during the period. Step 10. Click on Schedule 16 to check the summary. Step 11. Click on Schedule 17 to check the tax calculations. Step 12. Click on Schedule 25 to enter the quantity and market value of livestock. Step 13. Scroll down to declare by clicking in the box. Step 14. Scroll up to enter the verification code. Step 15. Then click on the Submit button. You have now successfully submitted your income tax return for farming. Here's today's question. When is the due date for submitting income tax returns for farmers and businesses? Kindly email your answer to NamRA Kachenu at namra.org.na. The due date for submission is the 19th of May 2023. The winner will be announced in the next episode.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of NamRA Kachenu. We'll be back again in 2 weeks. Until then, goodbye.
Giving fairness and equality to our nation. We appreciate the difference in ethnicity. We have